Good to have you back. This lesson is about work. We're going to go through 3, 4 examples plus definitions and understanding the unit derivation of work. All right, these are the 4 learning goals. We want to understand what work means in physics. It's number 1. Number 2, what is the formula, what it means really, and what is D, what is F. Distinguish between positive, negative, and zero work, and then understand the unit derivation. All right. The first thing, what is work? Well, work is done when a force causes displacement in the same direction. Now we got force and we got displacement. So when you have W is equal to force times displacement, D, that's what that is. And it's the same direction for physics 11, not physics 12, because we are dealing with the situation where we don't use any angles. It's at one dimension right now. Okay, left and right, that's the only way, or up and down. There's no angle in between. Now, in this formula that we have, W equal to F times D, F is force in Newton. That's the unit of force. Displacement is in meter, and work is not a vector. And that's a common mistake that a lot of students make. They think because force is a vector, displacement is a vector, therefore work has to be vector. But it's not. It's a scalar. And there is actually a definition when you have a dot product, which you don't know what that is, but just believe right now, just trust that when you multiplying two vectors, you will get a scalar. All right. And work can be positive, negative, or zero. We're going to go through 3 examples of that. I'm going to show you how that works. Now, here's a common mistake that a lot of students make. If you have force applied in whatever form, but there is no displacement, a lot of students think that the work is still being done, but there is no work done. That means the actual quantity of work is zero. Okay, that's what that is. And the unit on this one is Joule. We're going to do the derivation quickly. Okay, let's do the derivation of the unit work. And that's pretty simple, actually. We know that force, I'm just going to remind you, force the unit was Newton N, displacement D was meters. And remember, force, what was force? Force was, this is Newton's second law, mass times acceleration, right? So really, Newton was, so force was kg times meters per second squared, okay? And now when you're multiplying force by the distance, so W, which is right here, the work is going to be equal to kg times meters per second squared. You multiply that again by meters, so that will get you kilogram times meters squared per second squared. This is 1 joule, but we say 1 J. That is the unit of work and unit of energy, because work is actually energy. I'm going to deal with that next lesson. Make sure you come back to that, all right? For sure, that's an important connection. We need to work on that one too. Okay, let's look at a couple of examples. This is the derivation of the unit. Now let's look at a couple of examples. So let's see how much work is being done. We have a force 20 Newton. Force pushes a box 3 meters for 3 meters. Okay, so let's find out what that is. So work is equal to 20 Newton. That is positive because pushing it, multiplied by 3.0 meters. So you multiply 20 Newton times 3 meters and you get 60 joules, J. And that is positive work, okay? Because the force is being positive, is pushing, all right? And the box, pushing the box for 3 meters, that's the displacement. Let's look at next example. This one is a negative work and is friction, right? So force of friction right here. That's a negative work. So the force of friction, if I have, so remember W is equal to FD, okay? And force is negative 10 newtons. Now it doesn't say negative, but you need to be aware of that because it is a resistance force. It opposes the motion, right? For 5 meters, that's the displacement. So D is equal to 5.0 meters. It does make sense to write everything in a column way. I didn't do that in the first example, but it should be done. So make sure you do that, and that just makes it easier. So now we're gonna go ahead and find how much work is being done. So we do have to include negative 10 Newton. You multiply that by 5.0 meters, and what you will get is the amount of work is negative 50 joules. This is important. You must say negative 50 joules. That is a negative work being done. Okay, negative work being done. All right, let's look at another example. This one is a kind of a tricky question. It's zero work. So we're carrying a 7 kg backpack horizontally right here. How much work is done by gravity? Interesting, right? So gravity is up and down. This is gravity. Gravity just the gravity force or the weight, right? The weight is up and down. It's vertical. It's not horizontal. So in this case, backpack 7 kg is being moved horizontally. Well, who cares about the gravity? So there is no work done. So zero work done by gravity. There is no vertical displacement, right? So no vertical displacement. That means W is equal to whatever the force is, you multiply it by D, which is 0 meters. That's a multiplication. Well, remember, so that would be 0 joules. Here we go. So zero work done. This was a kind of an easy but tricky question. So let's look at this one. Work done by gravity. This one is a vertical work done. So we got the mass is 3.0 kg. It is being lifted up. I put D in here. You can put in H for height. It doesn't really matter. Let's go H if you want to. The question is how much work is being done. Notice that we don't have the force of Fg, force of gravity, which is also the weight W. Now I'm not gonna put in there W in there because we're gonna get confused with the notation of work W. So I'm gonna leave it as Fg, okay? And so remember that the force, Newton's second law says F equal to ma, but in this case A is your acceleration due to gravity, and that is 9.8 meters per second squared. So this becomes F equal to mg, okay? And once we have that, this is F. Now we can incorporate the work formula, which is going to be F times D, and that is W is equal to, oh, by the way, again, D could be H height. We're going to deal with that a little bit later on, but in another lesson, next lesson actually. But here, we can rewrite this as mg, which is force right here, and then times h. Now, be aware that the force that's being applied is a force of gravity, right? That means gravity is pulling on this weight. You're lifting it, but it's pulling down. That means the value of F, whatever we get, this value is negative. So if that is negative, that means we have to put a negative in front here, okay? So that makes it guarantees as negative. So now we're gonna go ahead and plug numbers in, okay? And let's see how much work is done by gravity. So we have negative 3.0 kg, we have 9.8 meters per second squared, and we have the distance or the height displacement is 2.0 meters. You multiply them all together and you'll get 58.8 joules, and that is negative, okay? That's what that is, and that's how much work is being done by gravity. All right, make sure you check out the mini quiz in the description or pinned comment below, and check out the next video in this series. I'm going to be talking about energy, work and energy together, because they are the same thing. All right, until next time.